What's going on, guys? It's been a while. I have been doing the fasting still. I'm doing pretty good with that. You can look at my Instagram and see when I fail or not. I really want to hop on here to give an update, mostly in regards to my podcast. Basically, I feel like I was getting a lot, really repetitive. I realize a lot of things are predestined, right? And I keep saying all this stuff. So why am I preaching so hard? Why? And I realize it's like an internal thing. Like, I feel like I need to get all this information out there, from my, just in case, you know what I'm saying? Basically, I did my chart 8 years ago, and basically I'm coming up to the end of my life, right? Whether or not that's true, we're gonna find out, but in reality, these are my last years, this year and then next year. So I've kind of been known this for a while, but it's kind of it's becoming closer and closer to the moment, and I'm just kind of and it's not something that I'm going to do myself. It's kind of going to happen randomly. And it has a lot to do with driving. I drive for a living, and things of that nature. And before I die, I think there's going to be one major failure of my life that I won't be able to live down. Whether it's getting someone hurt or failing in my career in one way or another, that if I didn't, things would have went a lot smoother. I'm not here to say if that's going to be all true. Like I said, this could be all fake, and that's what I realized. Everything is just sounds so forced. It's I need to tell everyone about things that at the end of the day doesn't matter, because you will have no recollection of your life after this. So what's the point in trying to figure out ways to stay motivated, to stay in a faithful mindset? And what I really realized is that none of it matters. Just take life day by day. But that's just speaking from my experience. I was talking to somebody, and I was explaining how, I never really got to grow up or be a kid in that sense. Now I'm stuck almost. Now I'm living my kid years now. It's weird. It's I spout things out. I'm strange, and I do weird things, and I just feel like I've never got to experience all this stuff and feel be myself. I feel this has always been myself, though. It's I've never really grown up, even though I'm nearly 30 years old, right? I just don't feel like I'm aging at all. I feel I'm just kind of in this neutral spot. And yeah, I've been neglecting my practice of tarot. I should be getting back into it soon since school's ending. I'm hoping to get a few more readings out before anything does potentially happen. I feel at the end of the day, I'm so bipolar. I'm I want to help other people and get this information out there and help them. And then at the next point, I'm the podcast doesn't really matter. I'm kind of sick in the head in a way. And I kind of attract that in my life. People, my close friends, are just as strange as me, just as weird. And it's kind of my karma in a sense. A lot of it is real. But it's but why do we need to know this information? You know what I'm saying? Why are we aware of the things that are going on in our life? It's just something that boggles my mind. Who cares? A lot of people preach about the elites and things like that. I mean, they're just going to die too and disappear and be nothing. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I mean, what were cavemen doing, really? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, were they really cavemen, or were they just regular men that were the same as us, but somehow died off, and now we're trying to build back what we once were? I saw this thing where it's like, now the pyramids are, when you look underneath the pyramids, it's a whole entire structure. They didn't want us knowing about that. They, whoever they is, it's people that want to keep their money to themselves and keep secrets information to themselves. Like, why keep it a secret, though? Like aliens, for example. If aliens were real, why keep it a secret? What's so secretive about an alien? Okay, cool, aliens exist. What do you want? People to freak out? What do you think is going to happen if aliens do exist, and then the government was like, yeah, we saw aliens. Yeah, they did this. Apparently, the CIA has a document of aliens beaming some people in Russia, and it just, something like that. And I just look at them like, well, it doesn't sound real. But if it is real, I mean, who cares? How is this going to affect my life in any single way? Who really gives a shit about aliens? Who really gives a shit about this stuff? Oh, they're keeping the secrets from us. They're keeping the secrets. Okay, and I'm sure you got secrets. I'm sure everyone else you know has secrets. I have secrets. It's not that big of a deal. And then it dies off with them. And guess what? It won't matter in about 300 years, 400 years, when life and this history is being rewritten in a way that manipulates the masses so that they can keep the agenda. It's almost like the agenda is thinking that we're coming from a stupid species like apes or gorillas, for example. But what if that was rewritten? What if we were always this way? We were born and we were transported here, and we just kind of lost our origins along the way. We were tossed here. And now we're trying to work on getting it back. And it's like we're all have this collective unconscious to get back to where we once were. Some might say it's even God, or we were angels, or things of this nature. But a lot of it has me thinking lately. It's just like, I'm just kind of, I have no purpose. If that makes any sense. I never had any real sustainable purpose. I thought I was getting money. I thought I wanted to be a baseball player. I thought I wanted to be a marine biologist. Then I was doing all this other shit. At the end of the day, I think I realized after gaining the peace of myself and being on my own, after like 4 years now, it's almost like I feel nothing. I feel no connection to any sort of attainment. Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, it would be nice to have it, but I still wouldn't care. It's not something that I look around me and I read chapters of Marcus Aurelius, meditations, and he's like, oh, well, people get up to, the money grubber for his money, the dancer for dancing, the expeditionist for the little moment of fame. But when these people are in passion, they lose the ability to sleep and eat for the motion of their pursuits, but yet you can't get up and do social action. That requires less effort from you. And he's talking to himself, and I'm trying to tell myself the same thing, but in reality, I would like to gain the same experience back, but at the same time, I know how reality works. You're not going to get anything in return when you do something good. Or if you do anything bad, really, except, nothing. Some people might say, oh, you go to get jail, or, oh, you get good karma, oh, you do this, that, and the third. Well, if it's not contributing to our immortality, then we're not really getting anything in return, if you really think about it. Because we're all going to disappear, and all of that, what we did, will be for nothing. Good or bad. Oh, you were so mad at the world. Well, guess what? Now you're nothing. And I would like to believe that there's something beyond this world, beyond our lifetime, and beyond the scope of our universe, but there's not really anything that indicates of that. Yeah. It's kind of strange. And I'm trying to... I don't know why I moved all this stuff. I got rid of that bed over there. I just didn't want that bed in my house anymore, or my apartment, really. It was just annoying me. And I know I said in a previous video, I was like, if you don't see me in a different place by now, then, I'm pathetic, or I'm going to die. This late in the third. Like, just shut the fuck up. Like, it's that serious, bro. Who gives a shit? Who really cares? And I say this to myself, to my past self, and I'm just like, now at this point, I feel like I'm always changing. Every 6 months, I'm changing into a whole different new mindset. But it always comes back to my faith and spirituality and what to expect from this world. Whether I expect a lot of it, whether I'm self-righteous in what I believe, and then next thing you know, I'm like, oh, this is all fake. I'm just showing you the mindset that I'm having nowadays. It's rough, I guess. Trying to elevate to a different level. And perhaps I am elevating, I'm trying to lose weight now, but I'm like 180. I mean, do I really need to? Yes. But who knows? Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you in the next one.